voices crackle through static glow, Morse code tapping in the night, underneath the stars so bright, connecting folks from far and wide, waves in the air they provide, call signs echo through the ether, let's get closer, let's go deeper. Amateur radio roundtable so fine, join the chat and realign. From HF to VHF, we're all here, let's make the distance disappear. Twist the knob, find a friend.
All right, welcome everybody to Amateur Radio Roundtable, the show about ham radio, amateur radio, shortwave, electronics. We're glad to have you tonight. And if you're out there listening on international shortwave on w5kub on 7490, we welcome you and we'd love to hear from you. Please send us an email to tom@w5kub.com. Of course, I'm pointing at it and you can't see it if you're listening on the radio, but anyway. You have to imagine it. tom@w5kub.com. Let's see. Hey, if you're on YouTube or wherever you are, I don't know. We're on YouTube. We're on X. We're on Facebook groups. We're on a bunch of places live right now. So, if you do happen to have the subscribe button down at the bottom, please subscribe to the show. We'd love to have you subscribe. It helps us out a whole lot. Hit the like button, hit the notification button, if you will. All right. Also, join our Facebook group. We've got a great Facebook group of over 14,000 members. It's just simply W5KUB in Facebook. Search for W5KUB, and we'll put you in here as a member just almost instantly. So please do that. If you want to listen just on audio podcasts, we're on just about every audio podcast out there. So just look for Amateur Radio Roundtable. And I think that's about all the announcements I have. We've got a bunch of things to talk about tonight. Let's bring in the team here and see what's going on with everybody. Hello, Glenn. You're up first, Glenn. How you doing, Glenn?
Oh, doing real good. Getting the house painted and getting the shack put together. And hopefully I was going to hang the long wire, but I'm going to be out of town this weekend, so probably have to be next week sometime. But, Bill is saying not seeing anything from the show on YouTube.
Well,
but I'm on YouTube, Bill, so you might need to refresh.
Yeah, Mark's watching it, so I don't know.
Yeah. But
it's funny. It's funny how the internet is, man. You know.
Yeah.
Some people get it.
It's Bill's internet.
Yeah. Well, actually,
it's going around him.
I was going to blame it on you, but you got all the bugs fixed there. I can't hardly blame anything on you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, see, I've got my bug catcher right there, just waiting to catch bugs.
That's nice. That's nice, man.
Yep.
I don't have a bug catcher like that. I do have one of those tennis rackets that zaps them, you know, when you swing it there. All right, so hey, you'll be back in Memphis or near Memphis here this weekend or Friday. You'll be working on your house, and then we're going down to Corinth to the Corinth Hamfest down there. And it's just a great hamfest down here. It's at the Crossroads Arena in Corinth. So, hey, if you're close by, you know, if you live within 400, 500, 600 miles, 800 miles, come on down, and we'd be glad to see you there. We're going to have we got a table there too, Glenn. I think you said you had a table, but they gave us our regular amateur radio roundtable table, and we'll be putting our banner up there. I don't really have anything to sell or take down, down there. But anyway, we're going to have fun this weekend, and looking forward to going down here. It's Saturday only, April the 5th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So come on down.
Yep, I'll be doing my Arduino forum there at 11. And are you going to be doing something there, Tom? I think they said you
I'm
were.
doing a forum. I forgot that on a show of the night, I said, man, I didn't know I was giving a forum, but I went back and I checked my emails, and yep, I was giving a forum. So
there you go.
Yeah. But we're glad it's coming up, and we're gonna have fun down here. So everybody, come on down and join us. What else is going on here, Glenn?
That's pretty much it. I mean, I just, every day do a little bit more work on the house, getting ready for, of course, Corinth, and then Memphis Free Fest the following weekend, and got all my reservations made for Dayton, and going to my class reunion the 1st of next month. And let's see. Oh, I managed, believe it or not, they still had a room left at the Embassy Suite. So I got my reservation there just yesterday.
Well, that's cool.
So, yep, I'm all set for Huntsville as well.
We've got our reservations there too. At one point, we looked at reservations, and on Saturday, they're wanting $450.
Right.
That's a little steep, man.
No, it was back to the normal rates. I think it was $169 a night.
Really? Yeah.
And yeah, there's a link on the club page. If you do that, you get the club.
Yeah.
Discount.
We usually call real early. A lot of times we can even beat the hamfest price.
Right.
Just by asking, but boy,
the
really
hamfest is getting so popular that they got to raise the rates for us.
Oh yeah. All right, well, let's jump over to Brett and see what he's been doing. Did you go to the city council meeting tonight?
I walked by and everybody was gathering. It's a big meeting tonight. They're talking about rezoning, so all the developers are there and a bunch of other things. It's going to be a long meeting. Long after we're finished, they're still going to be stuck there in City Hall with a long and boring meeting. And I'm glad I'm here rather than there. In the meantime, at home, I've been recapping a radio, as I mentioned last week. I'm still at it. So far, I haven't exploded any electrolytic capacitors. I'm always worried that one day I'm going to do that one day I'm going to heat one up too much with the soldering iron and make it burst. But so far, I haven't done that yet. And this coming weekend, I'm going to be at the hamfest in Longmont, Colorado, near Boulder, Colorado. And hopefully that'll be a lot of fun.
All right.
It's called LARCfest. This is the brochure for it, and it's going to be on Saturday from 9 to 1. And they're going to have an interesting thing at that event, which I may participate in because I guess I'm technically eligible now. And that is, they're going to have a session where they talk about YouTube Elmers.
Oh, okay.
And so I guess now I'm sort of a YouTube Elmer, and so they're going to have me there answering questions on a panel with a bunch of other people. Should be a lot of fun.
Well, that's cool. Now you got to take a lot of pictures and give us a tour of it. The week afterwards, and we're going to do the same thing with Corinth. So probably our show next week is going to be devoted to Hamfest, probably your Hamfest and the one that we're going to.
And my XYL, whose name is Isabel, is going to be coming with me to mind the table when I'm not there. And it turns out that the wife of one of the exhibitors there, a fellow named Dan W7RF, his wife is very into weaving and crocheting and spinning and all of that, and so is my wife. So the two of them are probably going to get together as well and talk about crafts and fiber stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Interesting. Well, that'd be good, and I'm glad your wife is getting to go there and connect with some other people there with the same interest.
We found something that interests her at the Hamfest.
Yeah, and maybe she'll go back next time, Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm still trying to get her to get her license one of these days, maybe.
Yeah. Well, Bill, looks like Bill's saying he can't get into the show tonight. He's tried Edge and everything. Hey, Bill, go to x.com. You can watch us on x.com. Somebody in the chat room tell him to try x.com, or he can go to our Facebook group and he can watch the show there.
Yeah, I'm watching the Facebook feed and it's just fine.
Okay, cool. All right, very good. Well, all right. Well, hey, exciting times, man. We got all these hamfests coming up, and Glenn, we've got Memphis coming up. What is it? The week after?
The week after, yeah, the 12th is
man.
Memphis Free Fest. Also, I've got a little bit of news about Dayton. I saw this in one of my feeds today. The Hampton Inn in Dayton and Fairborn has been sold. And they are advising, it's no longer part of the Hilton chain. So they're advising everybody that has a reservation there to call and verify, etc. You might not have a reservation for Dayton.
Yeah, that happens from time to time up there over all the years that we've been.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to go to Dayton this year, but you know what? Mark P. and I have decided I might stream it for the whole day, or maybe even for 2 days, and we're not going to do anything official. Last year we had some roaming reporters. The high school, volunteered their TV class to do roving reporters for us. The problem we had last year is everybody got on at the same time. Everybody wanted to stream at the same hour. And, it was hard juggling that back and forth. And other times we had nobody. So anyway, we're not going to do anything formal, but hey, Glenn, you're flying, so I'm not going to be able to stream your drive up there.
Nope, not this year. I'm flying.
Yeah. So, not sure what we're going to do. I am not.
I will be there with the cell phone.
Okay. And hey, you can use the same link that you got your permanent link to the show. You can use that link and come in and show anytime. You too, Glenn.
Well, somebody can stream my forum if they like.
If somebody's there, they can surely do it. And
yeah.
Of course, they would have to have internet access inside the building there, which may be a little
troublesome.
Difficult, I don't know. Internet up there has been. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. You get 20,000 people out there, and everybody's got a cell phone now, and they're pinging the tower, and nothing works.
Oh yeah.
And then I've seen times where the phone companies bring in those portable cell phone sites and set them right there near the food court, and that might help too. All right. Oh man, my windows I gotta patch my windows up. I done made a notch in it right there. This is our new logo, guys. That's our new logo. How you like that?
That's Windows 12.
Actually, guys, this is the new foundation for 8 solar cells to be glued down on top of right here, and this is going to go on our next flight. And we'll talk a little about that in a little while here. Let's see. Hey, tonight I want to mention to you or give you an update on w5kub-118 that we launched for the Arkansas River Valley Amateur Radio Club. We made it all the way to Kazakhstan, and then we no longer exist. So we're right on the border of Russia, Kazakhstan, and we lost it Saturday. It had been up for 1 week, and it's doing so good. The float altitude was just staying perfect the entire 7 days that we were flying. So, don't know. We did go over Ukraine. We went over Russia, and over the war zone. They were doing a lot of GPS spoofing and jamming there. Which at times our tracker would be in Crimea, then it'd be up in Russia, then it'd be over here in England, and be over here. You didn't know where it was. I mean, we knew where it was actually, but the jamming really messed it up. And also, you know, a lot of people were following it on APRS as w5kub-118. Well, the owners of APRS, they live in Finland, and they were a little concerned about the Russians possibly maybe not liking what they're doing. So they turned off APRS for our flights that were in that part of the world. So we were having to use amateur.sondehub, which the map's not quite as nice, but it still gave us tracking there. So we lost it. Don't know why. We're building a new one. I've already started right here. I've been testing it all day and yesterday, and it'll be a dual band again. And I want to talk a little about the antennas. You know, we used a trap dipole for 2010, and I want to try something different. You know, the traps add about 2 grams to the weight. We were a little heavy on this flight. We were about 15 grams on this flight. Now, I just did the calculations over here, and I've got all the parts and been weighing everything out. And it looks like on this flight, we can come in at about 9 grams total. No, about 8 grams total. So that's going to be good for us. That'll let us fly maybe 1,000 feet higher. So we're building up another system to go. Well, hopefully we'll get that launched in the next couple of weeks. And hopefully we won't go over Ukraine and Russia again this time. Our normal path takes us across there at the Straits of Gibraltar, and we go across northern northern Africa and through the Middle East. So I'm hoping that's where we'll go, which way we'll go this time. So that's what we're doing, working on it. Let me see, I might have had some pictures here of a couple things just on that subject to show. Let me look here. Let's look what we got here. Let me do a. Yeah, so this is some of the tracking we had right there with all the GPS jamming and stuff. We never went down to Crimea, I can tell you that right now. We never were down there, but you can see it thinks we're down here, it thinks we're up to the northeast. Somehow the NOAA prediction had us going the wrong way. They had us going west there, and I know all the predictions are going east. So that was one of the things we looked at there. That's what ended up as the tracker we launched right there. We had eight solar cells and just a little tracker and the styrofoam, and that's what we flew right there. And this thing was kind of, I don't know, kind of hexed, I guess, from the beginning. The first solar cell panel I had, I was having trouble. It wasn't putting out enough voltage for the cells, and I finally saw that in checking, it looks like one of the cells was real weak. So those cells are very delicate. They're about paper thin. You look at them cross-eyed, they'll break. Now these cells are glued in on each side, and you can see they're soldered top and bottom. So I tried to take out the cell that was weak to replace it, and I broke another one or two in the process of taking it out. So anyway, we got it going, but I didn't like it for some reason. It didn't function properly, so we just built another platform with another group of solar cells, and to hold our footprint space down, we just glued the tracker on the side of it right there. You can see the little GPS antenna sticking up. It's pointing at about 11 o'clock, 11:30, right here. That's the GPS antenna. There's actually a piece of either guitar string, maybe it's piano string, I don't know. It's one or the other there. Anyway, so we had some problems with it, and but it did fly. We did get a good launch. We had the problems with the spoofing and GPS jamming. There's another picture of where we went. It looks like we went around in a square box, and we came back and forth, and we went east, we went southwest, and oh man, it was a mess across here. I don't know why it came down. Maybe just quit transmitting. I don't know. I thought we had a very good balloon, and I thought we were in good shape to make it all the way around. So just to show you, this is really the first time we've run 10 meter and 20 meter whisper, and look at this diagram here. The pink is 10 meters and the yellow is 20 meters. And look at it, all the 20, this is in a test point here in Memphis. All the signals on 20 meters are going east. In fact, there's not a single one going west. Look at that. And then all the 10 meter signals are going west. And it was just really interesting to see how the propagation is on different bands there.
Wonder if that had to do with the antenna. I see one yellow line going west to Colorado.
Oh yeah, and there's that one pink one going northeast, but it's going over to England, I think, or the UK. So, but you can see most all the tracks. 20 went east, all the tracks for 10 went west. And I'm seeing that today. I'm seeing it today, and particularly when the gray shadow or the darkness comes. When the darkness comes right there, it seems like 20 meters always goes into the darkness, and 10 meters always goes into the daylight side. I don't know why, but that's what we're seeing right here, and I was seeing that today. So very interesting. The reason we wanted to run dual band was especially in the stands, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkestan, Pakistan, Doobie Gucci Gumi stand, all those stands. The transmissions are terrible out of there. You almost can't get a signal out of there on 20 meters. I don't know why. I guess it's because that area is, up into the Russia and stuff, is thousands of miles up in there, and there's just not that many receiving stations. So sometimes, and I know Bill Brown has had to do this, he's had to go into a remote SDR over in Russia somewhere and listen for the balloons. He's done that on a number of occasions there. So we thought 10 meters might fill in a gap, and I noticed when 20 meters just quits working, 10 meters most of the time works, and vice versa. So we're hoping that the 10 will fill in for the 20 will fill in, for the 10. So we're going to run dual band again. Now, you guys saw that, I built some 20 meter, 10 meter traps that we have in this real fine antenna. They add about 2 grams to the weight of the overall system. So I'm trying to come up with alternatives for an antenna, and so I tried to build up an end-fed, an end-fed half-wave, which would work on both bands. I got some really small toroids for ham radio, and I built the 49-to-1. It was just like it wasn't on there. The end-fed was a disaster. It may have been the wire size. I don't know, but it was a disaster. So I'm thinking, this thing might just that single 20 meter antenna, it might transmit 10 meters. And particularly at that altitude, in this sense, this is weak signal receiving. Maybe I just run 10 meters on the 20 meter antenna. I just put the 34 foot 20 meter antenna there, and we do 20 meters, then we switch to 10, we use the same antenna. And I tried that tonight. I tried it out in the tree tonight. I've got it up about 40 feet out there. And I did a test with running 10 meters on the 20-meter dipole. And then I added a 10-meter dipole. Well, the test results showed me that 10 don't work good on a 20-meter antenna. I was getting tracking at 40 foot. I was getting about 1 or 2 reception reports on whisper, 1 or 2 each 10 minutes. So I went out there and I made me actually, you know, the 20-meter antenna was on there. So I said, I'm going to add 2 legs on here. I'm going to add 2 10-meter legs. So I got a couple 8-foot pieces of wire, and one of them went up, one of them went down, and I made a fan dipole, basically. And then I checked 10 meters again. And instead of 1 reception every 10 minutes, now I was getting 10 receptions every 10 minutes. So you can see that it definitely works a whole lot better when it has an antenna on there for the band. So here's my dilemma. I'm going to run a dual band, I think, on this one. Just the number 36 wire, a 17-foot piece up, and an 8-foot piece up. 17 down, 8 foot down. Now the problem is they're going to get tangled together a little bit. They're going to get tangled. There's really no way to keep
your DX commander.
What was that, Brett?
You could build a miniature DX commander.
Well, I thought about that, but let me tell you, every time I put a little standoff in there, you know, whether it be a straw or anything, every time I put one of those in there, it adds a half a gram weight to the system. I'm trying to keep this thing down to 9 grams or under. So I during my test where I added the 10-meter legs out there, I just let the 2 dangle by themselves, you know, just hang there, and the top one, I just ran it up and tied it on a string where the other one runs up. And it worked good. Now, I wish I could separate them, but I'm not going to be able to separate them, I don't think. So I might be able, on the 10-meter one, on the 10-meter on the top, I might be able to take the 10-meter one, and instead of pulling it tight up with the 20-meter, I may be able to give it a little slack, you know, maybe a little curve to it, and then fasten it, and then maybe another little curve to it and fasten it, and another little curve and fasten it, where most of the antenna is kind of away from the other one. But regardless, I think it's going to work okay. That's going to save me 2 grams by adding that extra 10-meter legs on the antenna. Let's see, did I have? I'll get to it. Well, I think I had another picture, but we'll get to it a little later about the testing. So, I think tonight, you know, I'm going to talk a little bit or a lot about projects that I'm working on. And Glenn, I've got too many projects. I got too many things going on, and I can't do.
Join the club.
I can't really do any of them just like I want to. And man,
I had to drill a hole in something today. I don't have a workbench in the garage yet.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: I have them; they're not mounted yet. But
really?
It was a pain in the butt just to drill a hole. But I got it done. Also, real quick, Larry, N0RAC, brought to my attention, and I've got it on my board up here, Crowley's Ridge Hamfest is April 19th, the Saturday after Free Fest.
Oh, man.
And that's right up there over in near Jonesboro.
Yeah. Now, they had one up here, but what was that one? They had one a few weeks ago up here.
Yeah, but that was not Crowley's Ridge.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. Let me look on my.
Well, that's all right. It's already over with. Okay. All right. All right, let's do this real quick, and then we'll be right back, guys. Don't go away. And I've got some more pictures. We're going to have some fun here in just a minute.
Icom's amateur radios are the gold standard for ham radio enthusiasts, combining cutting-edge technology, unmatched reliability, and user-friendly design. Whether you're chasing DX, experimenting with digital modes, or laying a local net, Icom radios deliver crystal clear performance and seamless connectivity. Icom's IC7760 is the pinnacle of the base station excellence for amateur radio enthusiasts. Designed to deliver unmatched performance, the IC7760 features state-of-the-art technology, exceptional RF clarity, and an intuitive interface, all housed in a sleek and durable design. The base station features a separate remote control head and RF deck, providing enhanced flexibility for installation. Place the RF deck closer to the antenna feed point, freeing up space on your desk. You can also connect the control head to the RF deck through your home network, enabling remote operation from just about anywhere in your home without needing a PC. For more information about Icom's amateur radios, please visit icomamerica.com/amateur.
All right, I was just checking X to see if we were on. It's so complicated to know if I'm on or not. I've got buttons to save, I got buttons to post it, and then it comes back up, and we'll know if I want to post it again and all that kind of stuff. So I think we're on, or at least we're on now. Anyway, we're learning here. All right, so hey, it's time for some fun. I got some pictures here. You know, just during the week, I just kind of, you know, in looking at X and looking at Facebook, we see some things that are interesting, and I usually grab those pictures and think, I'm going to show that on the show Tuesday night. Let's see what we have here. I think this is a mixture of pictures, to tell you the truth. So we were talking about the car we were talking about the car up at Dayton. This is not the car, but it's one of them. Guys, this is one of the cars that you might see at Dayton, at the Dayton Hamvention, right there. I'm not sure, Glenn, if he can receive 900 megs or not, to tell you the truth. Looks like he's got everything covered, but maybe 900. And,
there's got to be something in there.
Well, look at the bumper. Look at the bumper there on the very left end. Is that a ball mount? And is that some kind of whip, kind of leaning forward there? I don't know what that is.
On the that's actually, if you look at it, it looks like it's it's 4.
It's what?
Tied into the center. If you look, there's a matching one on each corner of the car, and they all go up to a center point.
Oh, yeah, I do see that back there. Yeah, that's probably CB. He's probably got him phased there, man. You know, talk a long ways down the highway. Yeah. All right.
So his whole car is the disc going.
Yeah, you got a rotor up there. I think there's a rotor in there. I can't tell.
Yeah, that looks like a satellite rig.
Yeah. Well, anyway, okay. So anyway, we were talking about that car. We were talking about what we saw at Dayton, you know, every year, and people that haven't seen this, you know, it might be interesting. If you see this car, there's another one. There's a little, I don't know what kind of car it is. It's not a large car like this. It's a smaller car. It's got just about as many antennas, and it's been up there every year that I've been there. Let me see. Let's see what I got here. You know, hey, I just love this picture. We've talked about it before. That is how you repair a tower. You run that hard line up there, and you use baling wire around it. Now, I would use baling wire a little more moderately. I think I'd put a piece of baling wire around that top piece too. I don't know what happened here. So, hey, you know how much these fuses, what do you think a fuse like that costs, man?
Oh, 10 cents.
Well, the one on the left costs a penny.
That's true. Those
Yep.
those fuses are a penny a piece right there. Look at that. That's cool, man. I need to make me up some of those for spares. Keep them in
That's
my
actually
truck.
quite impressive.
Yeah, it
Yeah, but
is.
after you make one, you have no sense.
That's right. You may not have.
Or if you use it, you have no sense.
That's true.
Yeah, if you use it, you have no
That's true.
sense. But
Hey, we got every few weeks we look at a lot of electrical deals. This is an interesting one here, man. Can you imagine taking the cover off this breaker box and what do you do, man?
That's a honey of a panel there.
Yeah, I think you
yeah,
put the cover back on and you put the house up for sale, to tell you the truth. Right there, man.
pretty much either that or go into selling honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, smoke them out and
That's
sell
quite
the honey.
impressive. There you go.
Let me see what's chat. Let me monitor the chat room here. Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Now I like this guy here. He has grounded. He's using the PEX pipe here for grounding. See the grounding lugs right there?
Yeah.
That guy, he's one level ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, that's a virtual ground.
Well, I hadn't thought about that, but everything now has virtual this, virtual that. So that might be a legitimate.
Yeah, that's a virtual ground.
That's probably a legitimate virtual ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Now, isn't
interesting.
he supposed to tie the hot side to the cold side?
I don't know.
Only in the winter.
Well, and that is cold water pipe. You see, it's blue. So.
Well, see, and if you look, he's got the green wires, so he obviously has an outside ground rod as well.
Well, I don't know where that green wire is going.
Oh, I'm going to assume that it's going outside to a ground rod.
Yeah. Well, let's
Maybe
see.
it was going to that breaker
Yeah.
panel.
That's a plastic ground rod. Yeah. Hey, I just saw this. I mean, this is neat. I grew up in a little bitty town. My dad was a volunteer fire chief, and I learned a little bit about fire departments and firefighting and stuff. And they don't like for people driving over the hose because it can damage the hose. And like there where I grew up, we had the main highway went right through town, and if they had to put a hose across that highway, Highway 61, people couldn't drive across it. So they make these devices to set down there where people can drive over the hoses without damaging them. So this fire department here, I'm not sure where they are, but they're thinking out of the box here. And they've decided that they've got to cross this track. So let's put down what would you call those things? Put down the devices there to let a vehicle cross the hose.
Yeah, you got me as to what they are.
To cross the hose, without damaging it.
So they'd rather have a train wreck than have something drive over their hose.
I'm not sure they'd have a train wreck. They might have 3 pieces of hose.
I don't know. I don't think that the train would derail on that.
No,
so
I don't think so. I think the train.
I think well, and they'd end up with 3 pieces of hose.
Yeah. Hey, when I was little, hey, did you ever put a penny on a railroad track?
No.
I did it. I did it when I was little, but I heard all these stories about you might derail the train. I was really worried,
I was just going to say, did you derail the train?
No, we didn't, but it flattened a penny. And, I was a little disappointed. It didn't flatten it as much as I thought it would. I could have laid that thing down on top of an anvil and hit it with a hammer and flattened it as good as that train did.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong mouse. Let's see. We've already seen that guy. Hey, let's talk about the handbook again, man. I was just looking. Oh, wait a minute. Where am I? We'll come back to that in a minute. We'll come back. There we go. Glenn, we were talking about, and I got my license in 1964, and this is the only way you could tell somebody's address, and if he was a ham. You look him up in the call book. I looked up the 64 call book, and I wasn't in there, so obviously I got my call after the publication deadline, I guess, for the spring 64. These books came out I think 4 times a year, didn't they, Glenn? Or at least twice.
I'm pretty sure. Well, they came out once a year, but they had addendums that came out 4 times a year.
Oh, wow. So this is our internet back in the early days, and this is what it looked like. There it is. Right, it looks just like a phone book, doesn't it? You had to go to the.
Yep.
You had to go to the 5 area, and then they had the W's and the K's all in the same area there. And you had to scroll down and find it, and there I am right there, WN5 KUB, and there's the address and my name, and that's it, man. Hey, I guess we didn't even have zip codes back then.
Look about 10 down, W5kub. He's the 657th Radar Squadron in Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah? Okay. And if you look right above me, there's W5kub.
Yeah?
Man, I tried to get that call here about 10 years ago, and I couldn't get it. I guess somebody else had it, or the guy was still active there. But that's, guys, that was our lookup then, and let's see, what did that book cost? Well, I don't know what the book cost, but
it was not cheap.
Yeah. Hey, we looked at the rusty tower a while ago, and look at this one, man. This is cool. I like this one.
Yeah, that brings a whole new meaning to ground wave.
It does. It really does. Let's see.
The amazing thing is that it's still up in the air.
Yeah. Well, look, they've got, you think that's a broadcast tower? Look at all the insulators they've got in the guides. I guess that's a broadcast
I would
tower.
say so, yeah.
Yeah, they put those insulators in to keep the guy wires from resonating.
Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know if the guy wires hold, it might stay up. I don't know. I think I wouldn't want to climb it.
No.
All right, Glenn, let's talk about splicing. We talked last week about splicing some cable together. Can you imagine?
That's
if
the
you
whole
just
internet right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just slap it up with some super glue, though, and hold both ends together, you'll be fine.
Well, you better line them up,
Well, yeah, but I mean,
how would you like to be the new guy? You're on what? You just joined Western Union. In fact, my first job out of the Air Force, I went to work for Western Union. I was there for a year. It was union, and then of course, what's the union do? I was low man on the telephone poles, so they cut me, and I could have gone to New York and took another job, but I decided not to. But anyway, how would you like to be the new Western Union guy? You're on probation, and your supervisor sends you out there to splice a cut. Man.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you a little story about one of my first jobs. I was relatively new, and this was, I was on site at Pratt Whitney Aircraft Government Research in West Palm, and we had card readers and card punches, and the card punch was notorious for the grease just being a pain, and we were constantly having to add grease, flush grease, and everything. And it had a 50-pin Centronic style connector to the punch head. And one night I had to grease it, and I left the punch head off, or left that cable off. It got wrapped up in the drive belt, and I had to splice 50 twisted pair that night.
Well,
It worked for the next 6 years, but still,
Yeah,
that was not fun.
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, then you'd be
So-
old pro. You'd be an old pro. Put this back together.
Oh yeah, I have to do it in my sleep.
How long do you think it'd take you to do that, man?
Oh dear God, it's not even twisted
what if your
pair.
boss said? What if your boss said, Glenn, get on this job, make it quick. We've got other people waiting.
Oh God, that's easily one day and probably 2 or 3 days worth. Because the thing is, how many different colors can you have? And if it's not twisted pair, you're going to have to ohm out each line to make sure you got the right color.
Well, it's like a prism. It's just there's a you slice into a million different colors, man. The wavelengths, man.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, the odds of, oh gosh, if it's not twisted pair, how are you can't have 65 million colors back in the day.
Well, they're gonna be paired somehow. Like how Ethernet cables are paired.
Well,
you got your green
you're
and
assuming,
green white. You got your orange and orange white. But you'll run out of double. You'll run out of double pairs. Double colors. So, man, they must go down 4 or 5, 10 layers on different coloring schemes.
that's what I'm saying. That's going to be a nightmare figuring out what color is where.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, back to we always show the fuses. And
Well,
this
we
one,
blow
this
them
one
all
was
the time.
This one was a little neat because that was some big fuses. Because look, those are like 3/4 inch pipe in here.
Well, and they're spring-loaded reset too.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
that is cool, man.
and you can see that wire on the far left has been rather warm. As a matter of fact, all 3 of the wires have been a little bit on the warm side.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
The black one's on the top
But
there.
hey, if you can close that thing up, it don't hurt nothing.
Nah.
Hey,
Keep the
now
smoke
look at
inside
this,
the cabinet.
I in my job, I used to go places like in South America a lot, and Puerto Rico and places like that, Central America. This is in all the hotels in Europe, they have these drying things on the wall. These where you put your towel over it and it actually dries your towel. I think it runs water through it or something. These people are actually using electricity to dry here. So that's pretty interesting right there.
That'd get real interesting if he managed to touch 2 of those wires at the same time.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're back to that now. Okay.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. It's braced by the coax.
Yeah. All right. So
Well,
that's just
now
some of
I've got a couple.
Okay. And then I've got some projects. I was building here. I'm going to show you in a minute. Go ahead, Glenn. You got something you want to?
Okay. Yeah, we talked about this in the pre-show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool.
But this is a mobile station that was seen over in Little Rock this evening.
Yeah.
And Brent wasn't here for that discussion, but yeah, this is. See, he's got 900 meg.
Well, I tell you what, in Arkansas, I'm not sure how smooth that thing's going to ride on roads with potholes in them.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm guessing the skirt there is, what is that hover drive stuff.
Oh, really?
He's got a QR code there, so I mean he's got everything he needs.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, that's.
Kinda
They are
reminds
anticipating that we're going to get some good weather this week.
kind of reminds me of the Tesla truck a little bit, not much, but
Yeah. See, he's got some kind of loading coil on the back there.
I've got a friend that drove to church this past Sunday in a Tesla truck. They have a Tesla car and took it in for service, and they had to keep it for a couple of days. So now this lady's about 4 foot tall, okay? And they said, okay, we're going to need to keep your car for a few days. We can give you this small, I don't know the models, this small Tesla, or we can give you a Tesla truck. What do you want? She has never, ever driven a truck. She's never driven a truck. She says, I want the truck. And I got some pictures I took of her standing. She's about half as tall as the truck is. But man, that is a futuristic looking thing, let me tell you. But hey, you talking about the weather guys here. I'm seeing that we're supposed to get somewhere from 7 to 10 inches of rain here in the next couple of days. They're saying they're not saying warning. They're saying it's going to happen. You know, I mean, they're saying
yes.
They're saying we're not predict. We're not. What am I trying to say? They're saying this is going to happen. It's not. It may or may not. Yeah.
No, I saw the predictions, and I mean they're predicting 8 inches between now and the weekend or the end of the weekend.
Yeah. Mark asked rain or snow. It's going to be water, Mark.
It's rain.
10 inches. We're going to have 10 inches of water here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool.
Here it's going to be slush.
Slush. Oh man.
Yeah, it's going to come down. It's going to start melting right away, and then at night it might freeze.
Now, Chris said down in Texas there, 21 inches of rain in 2 days last week.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty deep, man. That'd be over the top of my boots. 21 inches.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's going to affect us getting to the Hamfest this weekend.
Well, you know, I think the big part of this is supposed to happen this weekend, I think. We're going to probably be driving down here in a monsoon, man.
Probably.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, hey, let me just tell everybody out there what we're doing here in case they're listening on shortwave radio. You're tuned in to Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, shortwave, and we're glad you're with us. If you're out there listening on WBCQ, we're glad to have you. And if you are listening, you're listening on Thursday. Our show is rebroadcast on Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you'd like to join us for the live show, you can join us at w5kub.com every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. And you can join us in the chat room, and you can also watch. You can also find us on YouTube. Just look for W5KUB. You can find us. You can find our show on our Facebook group, W5KUB. Hit that subscribe button. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us everywhere. All right. I started a couple projects this week, and I want to talk a little about them. So, guys, if you remember, I showed you kind of the world's smallest all-band receiver, sideband, CW, AM, FM, you know, about this big. You remember that receiver? It had, you know, upper, lower sideband, all that. And I thought, you know, hey, let's make a transmitter the same size as that, and let's make a contact on the show with that little receiver in the transmitter. So here is the receiver right here. Here's the receiver right here, and I cut me a little piece of, stop. I cut me a piece of perk board to build a transmitter on. So I'm gonna build me a little, I don't know, I'll set a 100 milliwatt transmitter on 40 meters, and we're gonna actually use that receiver in my transmitter and make a contact. So anyway, I started pulling parts out of the junk box, and I had all the parts pretty much. There's a schematic. I found a schematic on the internet. This is using MOSFETs. They're very efficient. So I thought I'm gonna build a MOSFET transmitter there. So you can see there's no coils to really wind or anything here. There's a few little small inductors, but this is basically a no coil transmitter. So anyway, I started building it, and got all the parts. I thought, okay, hey, I'm going to heat sink my output transistor and all that stuff. If you look here on the left, you can see the crystal, the little shiny silver crystal right there. I stole that out of what's one of those little QRP transmitters, Glenn? It's a transceiver. It's a Pixie.
Oh, the Pixies. Okay.
Yeah, this is a Pixie. I pulled two of the crystals out of Pixie, and I'm gonna throw the Pixie away. I want to build my own. So, anyway, so I pull those out. I don't. They're down in the CW band like 7023.
7023. Yeah.
7023. I guess that's for QRP. So all the crystals I've got here are the big crystals that we used back in the novice days, and they're way up in the voice band now. So I wanted to use these crystals, and I thought this is my best bet. Well, anyway, so I start building this thing, and wrong mouse. I start building it, and you can see it's coming together pretty good. I got a BNC on the output, and power input there, and then I've got a place for my key jack to go in, and you can see I'm making some progress. And guys, I like homebrewing and building stuff, and man, I was when I turn that board over, of course you don't see the parts on top, and your eyes start getting crossed, and you start questioning, did I run the right lead to the right place? Anyway, I found that in building projects like this, if you take something like a highlighter, and when you put every single component in, you just mark it like with a highlighter, you'll know you got that part in, and that helps you verify that you're putting that part in the right place. So you can see I'm making some progress here on this MOSFET transmitter. Well, it didn't work out for me. Okay, it didn't work out. It didn't oscillate. And I tell you why I think it didn't oscillate. I think I damaged the crystals and I pulled them off the Pixie. They were pretty much glued or plastered down. I solder sucked the but I think I damaged it because I finally found out at one point the little wire that comes out of the bottom of the crystal, you could take it and rotate it. So it felt like to me, it's not good. It felt like to me it wasn't connected inside. So it didn't oscillate. So anyway, I had another crystal too. So just like that, I had two of the 7023s. So I thought, okay, I don't like this. Let's try something different. So then we go to phase 2, our backup plan. So now I find this little schematic right here, and this is pretty good. It's a single, bipolar junction transistor, but it's got a coil in it, and you can and the thing about this, as I was reading, it can do anywhere from milliwatts up to 15 watts, depending on depending on your transmitter. I mean your transistor and the
transistor.
Power. Look, they're putting 20 volts in there at 1 amp. I mean, so this thing can run 15 watts. It just depends on how you want to size your transistor and I guess the voltage going in. So I started building this, and it's pretty simple, but I've got to wind a coil, and this looks like it's got the little feedback or tickler coil. See the little 2-turn at the top up there in the coil, how it picks up off the main coil and it goes back. I think that's a feedback coil right there to help with the oscillation. And then the other 2-turn coil below that 2-turn, that's your output for your antenna. and actually that coil had up to 14 turns, but I didn't really think much about it. But it would match different impedances. For instance, if you had a 2450 ohm antenna system, you could hook right there to the 14 tap, and it's a match. So anyway, I redid that coil and just put the 2-turn coil in for that. So I'm building this, and you can see the coil up in the top left up there. So it's three different coils lying on top of each other. So I built it. The coil's as big as the whole transmitter. Look at that. But that was the specs. The coil was supposed to be, I think, 34 millimeters in diameter. Anyway, I built the coil to specs. Anyway, I put this thing together, and it didn't work. I don't know. I think my crystals, again, were bad. Also, the guy says that the crystal also, when you determine your power, the little small crystals will not let you run as much power. They will heat up and go bad. So you needed to run, a larger crystal in there. So I think I had some bad crystals, to tell you the truth. One of them, the wire would spin in it, so I know that one was bad. So anyway,
do you need more?
That what? Do I need more?
More crystals.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the thing's built. I guess I could try it, but I kind of set it. I've got so many projects going. I just set it to the side. Okay.
'Cause I was going to say, I probably have some 7023s here at the house.
Okay. Well, throw one in your pocket.
I'll look tomorrow. Yeah.
I'll get it from you when we see next weekend. So anyway,
yeah.
I just set that to the side, and I didn't really like the build of this one because look how big the coil is. That doesn't really.
Yeah, that's a little messy.
That doesn't really match well with what I was trying to go with. The same size as the receiver there. Okay. So I got all kinds of projects going. Here's how I test my tracker tonight. You can't see it. Over that first big limb coming down, I doubt you can see it.
What's there at ground level?
I've got to see it right there. It's in a.
There it is.
It's in a little plastic ham box, food box, and I've got a line over a tree limb way up there. So I battery power the tracker there. Half the antenna goes up, half the antenna hangs below, and I just pull it up to the top of the limb there, and that's where I run it, and that's where everybody's picking it up from tonight. So you can see it there, and you can't see it there. But those trees, the top of those trees are over 100 feet, and that's the brother of one of them that fell on my house a couple winters ago, right there. All right, so that looks like that's about all I wanted to talk about there. So, and then I got this other project. I've got the DX Commander type project, Brett, that you talked about a minute ago, and I've got so many antennas out there, but I'm gonna put together a all-band vertical, ground-mounted all-band vertical. It's gonna be like the DX Commander, but I'm gonna use these spacers here I built, to hold them. The 4080 is going to go through the center.
Bands?
What was that?
Yeah. How many bands?
Well, say that one more time.
How many bands will it have?
Oh, it'll be 80, 40, 20, it would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 band. It'll get me to 10 meters. I don't know if I have 12 on here or not, but I may skip 12. But anyway, I'm going to run just the single, the 40 meters is going to go through the center. That's the longest, but I have wound this trap. I said, okay, why not add 80? So I've wound this trap. I built me a 40, 80 meter trap. And this is going to go up here on top of my 40 meter wire. And then above this will be for 80 meters. So I'll have 80-40 on the center. And then I'll have 20 on one edge, 20, 17, 15, probably 10. And I'll put a spacer like this about every, probably about every 10 feet going up, you know. I think I can get by with maybe 4 spacers right here. Now my plan is again at the bottom to tie them all together, and I've done this before out there, but tie them all together, feed them with one feed, like the DX Commander, you know, is doing it. But if I have any interaction problems, which I'll have some, I showed you guys on the show before, I've got this antenna switching box that I built, remote antenna switching box, and on the distant end out there, it's a relay that will switch to single wire. So it can switch my coax out there to single wire to 80-40, or single wire to 20, or single wire to 10, and the wires will not be all connected together. I may feed them separately. So I've got that option. So that's another project I'm working on. Plus I'm building the new tracker here. Plus we have to do the show and get it on the shortwave and edit it for YouTube and things like that. So I think it's about time to hire some more staff for the show here. And if you guys know anybody that would like to take a job here, we're going to pay 20% higher than we've been paying. So just, you know, let people know that. All right, let's see. What method do I use to launch into the tree? I've got a air gun that I built that will actually, you know, put air pressure in. It'll shoot it 100, 150 feet easy. But I found that my slingshot will do just about as good. I've got a slingshot with a fishing reel on it. You put a big nut on there, and you just aim it, and it's pretty accurate. You can aim it, fishing line over, reel a smaller line back, and you can eventually pull a big rope back if you want to. You talked about will a balloon lift that? We do not fly the tracker in a enclosure. The entire tracker, solar system, and everything here is going to weigh 8 grams total. This will hold this is styrofoam. This is not the Windows logo, but this will hold 8 solar cells. And then the tracker, here's the tracker. This is a tracker that we build and fly right here. This tracker weighs probably less than 2 grams. The tracker will glue right on here, right in the center, kind of like that, and then our string will go from here up to the balloon. This thing's very light. It's going to weigh 9 grams total. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow probably, is working on putting the solar cells together on here. And I'll break a few and have to redo a few, you know. Let's see. Anybody got any other questions in the chat room? Let's see.
Yeah, Mark was referring to the not the red box in the tree.
Referring to the Mark says I was referring to the multi-band spreader.
Yeah, he was thinking the balloon was going to lift that spreader.
Well, I mean, it could.
That's what I said. It's for our heavy configuration. Yes.
It could, but you know, I can easily where I have my antenna farm out there. I'm going to put the multi-band vertical. I can easily get over a tree limb 65, 70 feet high, easy with a rope. So it'll pull up the center, 80-40 and hang it from a tree. And then the others will just tie off on these 4. This is just PVC pipe right here. First one I built, I used 3/4 inch. It looked kind of big and bad. You know, I try to make it not look so bad out there. So I went with something smaller. This is that, this pipe is called
Is this Schedule 80?
It's called CPVC, right, Brett?
Yep.
CPVC.
Well, Schedule 80 CPVC, yes.
Yeah, and it's a lot smaller than Schedule 40. You know, like I guess even the 1/2 inch Schedule 40 is bigger than this. This is 1/2 inch. I don't know. I guess they measure this on the outside diameter for 1/2 inch. I don't know.
No.
But I know the white.
It's much thicker. It's twice as thick as the Schedule 40, and you can buy it threaded with threaded fittings sometimes, and that makes it easier to assemble.
The only thing I could not get a 4-way for the center here. I could not. I even on the internet, I looked everywhere, and for this size pipe, I could not get a 4-way for this size pipe. You can easily get it for Schedule 40 for 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch or whatever. So I took a T, and you can see. Let's see.
Yes, you glued the last piece.
No, I drilled a hole through it. I drilled a hole in the back side, and just ran it through, like that.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's that's a solid piece all the way through. These are two pieces here. But this piece is just a single piece all the way through, and I glued it in. So it's really strong. It's really strong. So that's the weather's starting to get good. I need to get out there and work on this antenna project. That's going to be a cool project, I think.
Yeah, if we survive this weekend.
Yeah. Or like K5PUR made, this gave me an idea here. He said it looked like a 4-way tire wrench. If you don't want to make this, go out and buy you 4 or 5 4-way tire wrenches, and they're metal, but drill some holes through them and use them. It may be a little heavy, but you can use your 4-way tire wrench there. Okay. The Fram-2 space mission with 4 astronauts over the pole, sending SSTV every pass on Robot 36 mode. Bill says to mention that. The Fram-2 is going to be, that's the one where they're going to do, I think, the polar, I won't say polar orbit, but it's an orbit, I think, where it goes over the poles.
They are in a polar orbit. They launched last night.
They go from pole to pole, so they're going to be able to see a lot of things that, I don't know. That maybe the other,
they're in a polar orbit. They launched last night at about 9:45.
Yeah, so each pass will be about 5 to 10 minutes. Bill says he just heard it the last pass. The next pass should be better. Tune to 437.55 FM, and it's going to be Robot 36 mode, and you can copy it. It'll last probably 5 to 10 minute pass.
Very cool.
Oh, we just had G7 VEO join us. I guess he's in England, probably. I don't know what the world's record for balloons is, Kaboosh. I've heard that someone flew one maybe for 700 and something days. I don't know. I don't know what kind of balloon it was or anything, but our last balloon flew 450 days, 450, and it went around the world about 25 times. The one right before that flew about 250 days, and I don't know, went around the world a number of times. This last one we just launched, it didn't quite make it around the world. 7 days, it made it to Kazakhstan, and that's where we lost it. Probably came down on a Russian military base there. Glenn, I put your email on it just so they can contact you. To
that'll
return
be fine.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. You have proof, so enter. I'm not sure what Caboose is saying. I have proof, so enter. Well, I don't think we have the.
Maybe.
I think here's a balloon up right now that has been flying longer than the 450 days. So, well, we were going pretty good there. We were going pretty good. I was hoping to.
And I mean, it may not be down, Tom. It may still be in jammed.
In fact, our 450-day balloon, it had a very intermittent transmitter for about the last 6 months or so.
Right.
And I think it's very possible the transmitter, because some days you wouldn't even hear from it. In another day or two, you might only get one transmission. So I think it's very possible the transmitter quit, and that thing might still be flying. We may be up around, 800 days now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we got about 5 minutes until we'll cut the show off here. Anybody in the chat room have any questions or anything?
By the way, I'm looking at the Heavens Above website, and darn it, in my area, there's not a lot of good ISS passes coming.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I can find one and see if I can pick up their SSTV.
Yeah, but they'll eventually, on that orbit they've got, they'll eventually come over you.
Yeah, let's see the next good one. Well, here's a fairly good one. Tomorrow, dinner time.
Yep. Posted the link for the live tracking of the From 2 mission.
If the balloon was still flying, it'd probably be over the U.S. right now. We lost it in Kazakhstan, but that was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It probably is about close to the U.S. now. Hey guys, so we're getting close to the end here. We got a special announcement here. Just came in. Let me play this.
Hey Tom, I just wanted to let you know that when we get our mission to Mars going, I want to schedule you and your show to be the first to communicate with us in space. By the way, I never miss an episode of Amateur Radio Roundtable on Tuesdays nights on w5kub.com.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Elon. I know you're watching tonight. Oh, okay. Well, guys, don't forget we get this Hamfest coming up this weekend. It's the Crossroads at the Crossroads Arena there, Hamfest 2025, Saturday, April the 5th, 9 a.m. If you're over in this part of the country, come on down. It's a nice one. It's a good one. It's inside. It's at the Crossroads Arena. And if you're a kid, you're going to get in free.
Well, there you go. I'm in free.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yep. And I'll be at the Hamfest in Longmont. We'll see how that goes, and I will bring back pictures.
All right.
There
well,
you
very
go.
good. Very good. Okay. Hey, we just had I just had another call here. Another call just came in. We got another announcement we need to make here. Let's see if I can figure out how to get it on here. Here we go.
Hello, Tom. Just wanted to let you know that I'm studying for my tech test. I watch Amateur Radio Roundtable every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central on w5kub.com. You guys have a great show. Keep up the good work.
All right. Well, man, I tell you, our show must be getting out, guys. We've got a lot of people starting to watch it here now. Okay. Well, Brett, get some pictures. Glenn and I will get pictures, and let's see. Dayton's coming up Dayton's in April.
Yeah. May 17th, 18th, thereabouts.
Wait a minute. No. May. Dayton is in May. Yeah, May.
Correct. Yeah.
Now we're not going
I'm flying up on
hey, after
15th.
going to Dayton for 40 years, we're not going anymore. We've had enough. But we will do a webcast probably that Friday and Saturday, and we will have connections at Dayton bringing video in. So be right here, and you'll get to see what we see. There's going to be some activity here. All right.
And Brett and I are both going to be there in Dayton. I'm going to be doing an Arduino forum, so it's going to be fun for us. We'll leave Tom at home, feeding our cats and stuff.
All right. Let's see. May 16th, 17th, and 18th for Dayton. Yeah.
Yep.
We used to, for 20 years, we always went to Dayton and streamed it. And we worked really hard there. And our friend astronaut Doug Wheelock would go with us. He went with us for 8 years and was in our booth. And we did interviews, and we gave away a lot of prizes. Some years we gave away close to $10,000 in prizes, but we've just kind of stopped doing that, and I've stopped going up there now, and we're just kind of sitting back and enjoying it right now.
Yeah, but you need to go back, Tom. Come on,
Well, man, I don't know.
It was nice.
Yeah, I really liked Hera better. I mean, that's my own personal preference. I like the Hera arena better. It seems like there at Xenia it's just too spread out or something, and that's my other concern about Orlando. It is really spread out, man.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's you don't. I don't know if you get to see it all. I mean, it's just so spread out.
I managed to see it all, but I will tell you right now, I am worn out by the end of Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that Dayton's going to catch up with Hera after a few more years. We'll see. Certainly keep busy enough. I barely sleep when I go.
Yeah. Oh no, I hit the ground on Thursday, and that night I'm at the QRP Archie events for Thursday and Friday nights, and then the Hamfest, of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then I fly home Sunday. So yeah, it's you don't slow down.
All right, we've got a message here from Glenn.
What did I do this time?
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
All right, well, that means it's about time for us to sign off here. I think it's popcorn time, and
we
Glenn,
are going to get that aluminum foil on that one.
Yeah, get your aluminum foil back on there. I know when you moved, you packed it and you've lost it somewhere, but get it back on there.
Yeah, I've got to unpack it.
Yeah. All right, let's get some popcorn. And Glenn, don't forget, get your boat ready, get your boots ready, and
yeah,
we're going to have to
we're going to have to bring
hatches.
A kayak and a life preserver.
10 inches of rain here coming up the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Good night. All right, so we're going to leave the show running just for about another 2 or 3 minutes, but the show actually ended. It's over. Bam, the show's gone. So whatever we do now, this is not the show. But if you want to stick around, and ask questions in the chat room or make fun of us or something, we're going to be here for a couple minutes. Look at there. Mark P's already says 73s, but he's not going anywhere. He's going to stay. He'll stay. All right. All right. Well,
Yeah,
let's see.
Bill does have one valid point. The food is much better at Xenia than it was at Harris.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I mean, you didn't have a lot of choice at Hera.
well, and one
And
thing,
they have,
I tell you what, one thing about Orlando, I think the food's pretty good there too.
Oh, yes.
well, there you have that whole
Well, see,
strip of restaurants. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm actually going back to Orlando here in about a month
Mm-hmm.
for my high school reunion, flying into Orlando and gonna pick up some pastrami at my longtime friend George WD4ORM's lunch truck there in downtown Orlando, and then head on down to Sebastian, Florida for a class reunion.
50-year reunion?
50, yeah.
Wow. Those,
It's
those,
hard to
those are
believe,
wild.
but yeah.
Mine's coming up.
Yeah. No, looking
Just a
forward
couple
to it.
years
A
from
lot of people are coming out of the woodwork on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, yeah.
I'm
They find
flying
you
into
on the
Orlando.
internet.
And that's the problem these days is everything we did back in the day, there's no record of.
Yeah,
Now there's records.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
think of the cameras
so
that we
yeah,
got
dance,
now. The cameras, and you don't have to put film in them and get it developed. And hey, they're in
yeah.
color.
Yeah. No, so yeah,
Good
dancing
deal.
on the tables and stuff is kind of out, no lampshades and stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have the internet then, but I'm gonna bring when they have my 50th, I'm gonna bring some cassette tapes because I still have them, and some of them are
Wow.
incriminating.
Yeah.
I actually have a whole bunch of photographs because I was big in photography and developing my own stuff back then. So I have a ton of black and white, but I've already turned the good ones into the reunion committee.
Oh yeah, I had a dark room back then too.
Yeah, and G7 VEO's asking the classroom, believe it or not, I got my ham radio license as a result of two friends, two classmates, Grant Newland, WB4SWH, and Mike Jaggers, WB4TTZ. And a matter of fact,
You almost said Mick Jaggers.
yeah, I almost said Mick. No, it's Mike.
Oh,
And actually, I get to see Mike in Huntsville every so often. He lives up in Tennessee and comes to the Huntsville Hamfest. So ran into him about 2 years ago. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, I got my ham license when I was a sophomore in high school as a result of those two guys helping me get my novice license. So yeah, lot of high school friends went on to become ham radio operators and stuff.
Oh yeah.
We even had a station at the high school. We had an ART-13 as our transmitter. Can't remember
All
what
right,
the
man.
receiver was.
yeah. ART-13, huh? Cool.
Yeah,
Had
big old
813 in it.
monster. Yeah, I cannot remember what the receiver was.
It was probably one of those ARC-5s or something like that. Or
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I really cannot remember, and I have no pictures of that station. But yeah, now my home station was an HW16, crystals. And then I built my own HW101 after I got a General.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of fun back then. So I've been a ham since like 1973.
Yeah. Well, I was in the Scouts. I got a novice ticket when I learned Morse code, and then dropped it because it was getting too expensive for me at the time.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people, I came back to ham radio years later.
Well, see, I had to get the advanced because, by God, I wanted to work slow scan. And you had to have the advanced to work slow scan back then.
Well, when I started, we had all the frequencies, and then he came out with what they call incentive licensing, and they made the advanced license and the extra license. So if you wanted all the bands back, you had to upgrade.
Yeah, now Caboose is asking, was radio taught in the U.S. at one stage? Not necessarily. Mine was all personal and electronics class group and a kind of a club, but there was no formal ham radio or radio training at all. We did have a formal electronics class in high school, and that's as close as it got. You know, Tom, it might have been taught differently for you.
You know, I grew up probably when I was 3 years old. My uncle was a TV repairman he was about the only repairman for 2 counties. And I grew up with him in that TV shop. We had hundreds of junk TVs. And I was always building. I had anything I want. We had hundreds of junk TVs, the chassis out of the case. It was sitting on their side. I'd go through there. If I needed tube sockets, I'd drill out tube sockets. I would take power transformers, you know, filter caps, resistors, pots, anything. I mean,
Oh yeah, we'd desolder anything for parts.
I had everything for parts, and I built so much stuff over the years. I think I got my start when I was probably 3 years old. I took a part out of his trash can. You know, I forget what it was. But later he called me and he wanted it back. He wanted that part back. I guess maybe it was still good or something, or, you know, I don't know. So I do remember that.
Yep. Well, I remember I was walking home from school one day, and I walked by this house, and there was, fortunately, it was a ham there who became a silent key, and his widow put all the electronic stuff out in the yard. She didn't know what to do with it, and asked the neighborhood kids if they wanted to scavenge it. And wow. I had a field day. There were all sorts of cool little doodads in there. I mean, they were, you know, old stuff like dynamotors.
Yeah. You know, one of the things I want to do for the show is just maybe show. You know, I thought, okay, let's do some parts salvaging off board. I've got so many. I don't throw a board away. It's got parts on it, and I've got boards, and I've got different methods, you know, for unsoldering those. And I was gonna do just a short video and show, you know, hey, the solder sucker, you know, the spring-loaded solder sucker, you load it and you pop it after you heat it, and then, you know, like Brett, you were talking about the solder wick, you know, and then I've got a desoldering station over here. It's got the gun, and it's got a hose and a vacuum to it, and I was going to show that. Now I've used that very little, and I did a little desoldering the other day, but that's something kind of neat. To parts. I've got parts, Glenn. I've got parts in cigar boxes here that I cut out of TVs 60 years ago, and you know, I'm still using them today. But
yeah, my favorite parts.
I can tell you nowadays, though, everything is so cheap from China. I mean, I've actually ordered bags of resistors. You know, you can get. Yeah. You can get a bag of 1,000 assorted resistors for $5 or something like that, or caps or
pretty
pots
much, yeah,
for almost nothing, and it's pretty fast. And you know, I've even started ordering some stuff like that.
Well, I got all my parts mounted in bins on the wall in the garage now, and I mean, I'd easily say I've got 100,000 parts.
Yeah.
just boxes of resistors and everything, and it's all sorted. It took forever to get them sorted. But one of my favorite parts from back in the day, and I never had a way to guess or figure out the capacitance of them, and that was those old capacitors that looked like dominoes that had the color codes and the circular spots on them.
I was playing with some of those just the other day. I still can't. I can read the color code on a resistor fine, but I can't read those. And,
no, but
I
had
to put a meter on it. I had to put a meter on it. I had
But I love that style.
Yeah.
It's just so cool looking.
Yeah.
I don't have any of those anymore, but I did, and that was where I got them actually. I was talking about before the woman who put the stuff in the yard.
Yeah. I can hear him rooting through stuff.
Yeah, I'm going through stuff. I was gonna show you something. I saved everything, and they've come in handy. Let's see. Let me see where my camera is for this. Show you something here. Maybe not. I'm going to try to bring in another camera. Anyway, so look at these. These are. I've got a whole drawer. I got a whole drawer of doorknob capacitors. Okay.
Wow.
And I was looking these up. The other day on eBay, and they're going for anywhere from $25 a piece to close to $100 a piece for them.
Wow.
Is that because they handle high voltages?
They're high voltage, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 41 picofarad right there. So yeah, and that's a 360 picofarad, and I don't know. Now these little ones are only 5,000 volt, 500 picofarad, 5,000 volt. But hey, I've kept this stuff for 50 years, and guess what? I used one of them the other day.
There you go.
I used one.
Yeah.
That's like using that board that you put in the garage 30 years ago because you just couldn't get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the moment you throw it away, you need it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. That's the way it works for me.
Well, I'm looking up that FRAM-2 polar orbit satellite.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, it's got a crazy orbit. You can just tell by the passes. I understand that it's a 4-person international crew.
Yes.
And somehow they're going to try to do ham radio.
Yeah, well, they launched last night at like 9:45. It was a really cool launch. The first stage landed on the remote drone carrier.
Mm-hmm.
A perfect landing. That's what amazed me. And the launch was just beautiful. But you don't realize that they're flying a kerosene liquid oxygen mix.
Interesting.
For fuel, instead of the old liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, they're just using kerosene and liquid oxygen.
Does kerosene have enough hydrogen in it? It must be. It's not as energy dense.
I don't know. It's not as energy dense, but I guess when you combine it with the liquid oxygen, it does well enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's gonna make the carbon in it's gonna go to CO2, and there is some hydrogen in kerosene.
But that was a beautiful launch. Mm-hmm. That was a beautiful launch last week, though, or last night.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was very surprised hearing the kerosene oxygen mix. And interestingly enough, you could see the lightning in the background, but that did not interfere with the launch at all.
It's getting pretty exciting here as we get just under a couple minutes away from liftoff. Now that propellant loading is complete, that means that
Dragon is an auto.
1 million pounds of kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen. I like to describe that like the condensation building.
There we go. 1 million pounds of kerosene and liquid oxygen.
Go for launch.
In like the second stage?
News.
In both the first and second stage.
And liftoff.
Now the second stage, look how quick that sucker gets off the pad.
Yeah.
Nothing like the old Saturn V.
The thing is, I think the first stage was just the same one that they've been using for all their launches.
Yes.
The one they finally got to land vertically after multiple tries.
But what was interesting is after the stage separation, the second stage engine starts out dark, and as the combustion's going, the engine bell itself starts glowing red.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it shuts down, it loses color, but they get that sucker red hot.
Yeah. Well, they don't recover their
like-
second stage, as I understand it. They just let it burn
No,
up,
I don't
right?
think they do. I don't think they do, no. But the first they do recover.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really, really interesting design, and when you realize it's kerosene instead of liquid hydrogen, that's just even more interesting, because like you, I didn't realize that kerosene had that much horsepower.
Oh, it sounds like they just have enough of it, and maybe that's all they need.
Yeah. Well, there's 9 of those kerosene burning engines in the first stage.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody, if you're not a member, join W5KUB Facebook group right there. We got a lot going on. Join us.
Okay, there's
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go get me some popcorn.
Yeah, I'm about ready to get off here. Good
Yep,
night to
and I'm
everybody.
gonna book-
Good night, everybody.
Yep,
Thanks
I'm going
for
to book my
watching.
hotel room for Denver because I'll stay over in Denver after that Hamfest. So
All right,
I'll
have
see.
fun.
Yes, well, I will. I'll see you all next week. I'll let you know how the session goes. It's like I said, they're having a panel where they say the people there are going to be YouTube Elmers, and I guess I
That
qualify
could be
now.
fun.
So they're going to drag me in there, and they're going to be. I'm not sure who's going to show up, but they're going to all be YouTubers. I'll probably recognize everyone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I try to stay away from them. Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see. Good night, everybody. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
All right. We'll see you this weekend, Tom.
All right. Save me 3.
Okay.
Good night.